take 10 million. I've been thinking about this since this morning about Hollywood and like how some people interpret that as a magic wand and how Hollywood casts spells upon people with the movies. And you know, I I always I always thought it was fake, like not the concept of that, but the movies. I just most movies I just couldn't get into. But there are a couple times where I've been to a movie theater and seen like a movie, and I leave the movie. I leave the after it's done, and um, you feel like you're in the movie. You know, still like the funniest one was Jurassic Park when I saw that as a kid. I walk out and I'm like, why am I still thinking about dinosaurs? Like the movie's over. It's kind of funny. Stuff like that. So they do kind of like affect your brain, and they can do it in subtle ways and not so subtle ways. So that's true. And also, like the actors have to get into a state of mind that is magical in a way because they have to become someone else. You know, they can't do their job unless they can convince themselves they are that person. And that's why a lot of people in the movie industry that act have mental illness, um, because they like they just can't break that state, and it's just another year till they need to do it all over again, and so they can't connect with normal people really. They don't want to be seen or recognized too much. Very very often they just don't want to be seen. It's like when my mom saw Eddie Murphy at a Starbucks. He didn't want to be seen. He had glasses and a hat and stuff. Um, so that's what that life is like. Despite all the millions and despite all the fame and everything, um, it's not. There's a price you pay. It is kind of like selling your soul, but I wouldn't say like selling your eternal soul or whatever. But you kind of sell who you are, and give it up for um, you know, fame and fortune, essentially. But it ain't no like deal with the devil where you put blood on a. At least that's how I believe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it does that. And the thing is, there's another side to it because although that can be detrimental to a lot of actors and actresses, um, one can use the power of that to enhance their life. And I've done it a little tiny bit at times. It's kind of scary when it works. You just kind of assume a role in life and just say, "This is what I am now," and it starts to work. Opportunities change, things will happen. Um, Even if you don't believe in metaphysics, you'll just have a different focus on life, and it can be very powerful. Problem is, we slip back, especially me now, where I'm at in Oregon, slip back into depression because it's cloudy all the time, and but pretty much, but and it's sneezing season, but you can change your perception of reality, like just to say like this is what I like. I pretend sometimes that I'm in a reality TV show that is like about someone who is the person I want to be, and it's kind of weird. It plays with your ego a little bit. Um, I don't really like to do it too much, but I've done it at times. And just saying you can do it. Not saying you should, but saying you could. And I find it interesting. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like the acting can work both ways, because these guys in Hollywood, they have to go pretend to be something for some story. That might be a tragic story. It might be some goofy comedy where they got to be like completely hilarious all the time, and it wears down on them. So, but you could also like pretend that you have the job that you want, that you do what you want to do, and for a couple years, I did that, and it worked. I don't know why I'm not still trying. I think I'm just beat down by life or something. But who knows? Maybe I'll try again. Um, but yeah, that's an interesting one about Hollywood or Holly Weird. And by the way, weird is not a bad word. So yeah, that's what I got.